13 early in the fourth. You end up scoring 41 points in the fourth quarter alone. What changed?
Let's rewind to the start of the game. I felt we come out with a great aura about ourselves. I thought we had great intent, great purpose. The scoreboard, as I said last week against Sydney, the scoreboard does not dictate how you play. The fans like the scoreboard, but I like the way the game's going. The game was going fine. We just weren't playing at our best offensively. Our guys were competing, they were rebounding hard, and then they just stuck with it. Like their enthusiasm in the timeouts, they took care of the timeouts themselves. They were dialed in. And then we had that explosion for 41 points. I think we've been showing that we're an explosive offensive team when we find a good rhythm. We just didn't find our rhythm.
I know you've been asked a lot about rebounding through the season.
Yep.
The fourth quarter was, particularly on the offensive glass, second chance points was dominant.
Yeah, the beautiful thing is that big scoreboard they put up, I've never looked up there and seen rebounds. So do we want to get better rebounding? Absolutely. Any coach wants rebounding to be a priority. The biggest priority is the scoreboard. And as I said, sometimes teams play ping pong, volleyball with us on the glass. As long as we're competing, I'm good with that.
In terms of some of the lineups that and I know you sort of focused on the whole game, but in the fourth quarter,
yep.
I think there was maybe only one change
Yeah.
next half for Brady, and then you went with Mitch.
Yeah.
And some guys that perhaps haven't played as much the last stretch. What went into that?
My gut feel, how guys were playing in the earlier stages of the game. I felt like Mitch was putting great heat on the backcourt. He picked up Brown, turned him. They weren't initiating their offense as early as they were previously. And then he got downhill to allow Bryce, Tayshaun, Brady to play in some of their sweet spots offensively.
So Bryce, none of us are surprised, but I think the previous 7 quarters he's 3 for 29.
Yep.
And he has 20 alone in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't think anyone's surprised, but what can you say about what he was able to deliver in the fourth?
Look, the way he is as a player, I know you guys get enamored with the 3 for 29. Well, that just means an avalanche. You guys were on this guy early on in the year. Water always finds its level. When you're a pro and you really embrace what you're about in your profession, you'll get rewarded. And as you guys said, no one was surprised with Bryce. It was just a matter of when it was going to happen.
Given the moment that it happened, is that just, a description of just the guy that he just knew with a big moment and just stepped up to the plate, like last quarter down by 30? Yeah,
look, he has great confidence in his own ability, but I think his teammates give him great confidence as well. We had some great contributors to allow us to get to that stage and allow him to take over the game, like Brady's shot making in the first half was great because that just kept our scoreboard ticking over. Their lead couldn't really bust out or anything like that. So we had great contributors like Travers, big 3 offensive rebounds. Ty Webster comes in, changes the pace of the game a little bit by getting downhill for us. So we had different guys step up. Tayshaun's 2 huge free throws. But that allows Bryce to do MVP-like things.
We'll obviously speak to Brady about this in a moment, but just from your perspective, you mentioned earlier he has had his critics throughout the year, and for him to produce a performance in such a huge game, must be really proud.
Oh, look, one of the things that I value in him as a player is his shot-making ability in the moment, in the big moment. We're getting towards that stage of the season. He's performed at that level at his previous stops. So when we were putting the team together, that was one of the ingredients that you need to have because Bryce needs guys like that around him to allow him to do that. Tayshaun, Travers. So all the pieces come together in the fourth quarter.
Brady, did you sort of feel you had a point to prove tonight on the big stage?
No, I just came out and played basketball. For me, I knew that coming in they were focused on Bryce. They were focused on not letting him get open, and I got a couple early looks before they started really pressuring me. And like he said, guys making shots, whether that's me, Travers, Corey, Tayshaun, they got to focus on that. Then we go back to Bryce, and I think we're just playing well offensively, and we got a lot of weapons.
Brady, there's a sense that the team plays a different way when Mitch is on the floor, especially defensively. Do you feel that, and did you feel that in the fourth quarter tonight, that maybe the urgency was a bit more him picking up full court. Do you feel the difference when he's out there?
Yeah, definitely. Mitch brings energy and toughness, and like you said, when he was bringing the ball up the floor, he was getting down in the paint, he was creating stuff, and just having that physicality that he brings, it was good for us today. That was a physical team, and for him to to be able to pick up Brown and then also run the point and get us in an offense at times, that was really big. And he was finding the right guy, finding the right place to get, and he was playing really well.
JR, Mitch's minutes have been up and down this season, and does seeing a performance like tonight make you think that if you get into a semi-final series that you can play a more sustainable way of basketball, sit down and guard, and you don't have to just be up octane and try to outscore the other team. You can actually sit down and guard consistently.
Olgun, I read that play-in bracket. We're not even close to the semi-final yet, so let's take the next hurdle, and then we'll worry about that. But like everyone knows what Mitch Norton's bread and butter is. Tonight we needed that energy and effort picking up Brown. It was a huge momentum swinger with what he brought to our team tonight. The next game, whoever that is, the flow of the game might not dictate for that type of thing. But we know when we need that, Mitch Norton is ready to go. He showed that tonight, and I don't know, he hasn't played in a long time. But that's what being a professional is. That's when you really want to go after a championship, you have to sacrifice. And that's what our guys are doing right now.
They had 13 offensive rebounds in the first half, and
Yep.
only 1 in the second half.
Yeah.
What did you think the shift was that allowed you guys to crash the balls a bit better?
Man, when we gave up that free throw rebound, like halftime, that's all I could remember. And that's just effort. If you're really about winning, and everyone says they want to win, but are you prepared to do the little things to win? Mitch Norton, great example of just wanting to get things done to help us win. That block out at the free throw line, that wasn't about winning. That was like, oh, we're happy to be in the playoffs. So we addressed that and we fixed it.
What can you say about Luke's growth over the course of the season, and especially these last 2 games?
Yeah.
Obviously must-win games. Big game against
Sydney, yeah, your favorite team, yeah.
Against Sydney, and then obviously coming up big down the stretch.
He is a young guy with tremendous growth left in his game. He's just been chipping away. I think the guys that he plays with give him confidence. They encourage him to be that player. The coaching staff encourages him. So I think he's in an environment where he feels like if he makes a mistake or not the right play, he'll continue to play. And the last 2 games, but he's been making great plays for us at both ends of the floor all season. I think what you're seeing is a little consistency to that. And that's just maturity and that's just growth. He's putting in work that gives you confidence. Bryce Cotton is a confident player because he puts in work. Brady Manek's a confident player because he puts in work. There's no secret sauce to being a great player. You got to put in the work, and I think he's gradually finding what that means.
In the biggest game of the year, you're starting 5 to finish double-figure points plus Norton as well. That must be a pleasing aspect of the performance as well.
Yeah, you play the right way, and we want to play with momentum and pace. So that means we'll play more possessions, gives guys more opportunity to score the ball. And like you can see, we're just not scorers. We're a willing, passing, sharing team. We've done a great job of looking after the ball this year. Our philosophy is to make sure we get the best shot available. And that means the best shot for you. The best shot for Bryce is a little different to someone else.
The manner in which you won does almost give you a lot of belief heading into the next game. It's almost like positive. You can just you can win from such a deep.
Did you see that T-shirt I wore last week? Yeah. My belief hasn't wavered.
Yeah.
I'll reiterate it. When we're 5-7, I still had the same belief. When we lost 5 in a row, I still had the same belief. My job as a coach is to get that out of the players. We're getting there. We can still get better.
And Brady, amongst the playing group, what was the feeling after that win and heading into the next cut-through game? Just sort of have this feeling you can pretty much take it from any position?
Yeah, it's good. That was a good win for us because, you know, we were down and they were beating us on the rebounds, and for us to, you know, come out and play like we did the second half and then fight back and keep the lead, it's promising, and, you know, we're just looking forward to the next one. I think that one's already behind us and we're moving on.
You've mentioned a few times, which I find interesting, just the scoreboard, like there's no rebounds on the scoreboard. I think last time we spoke, you said they're not going to stop counting the score. But then you also referenced the rebound off the free throw and maybe a message you had at halftime. So how do you balance the way you want to play and trusting the way the team's playing, and then perhaps moments where it feels like there's lapses? Do you think that is an issue, or?
The lapses, yeah, but any team has lapses, and that's why they give us a few timeouts, so I can try and use those halftime. To me, those lapses, like the rebound count is the rebound count. Like sometimes the team will have 5 rebounds in a possession. Like, is that a true reflection of your rebounding one possession? I don't know, but when we don't block out on a free throw, that's a sign that we're not in the moment and we're ready to take care of business. That's all that shows me. I got to do a better job of making sure they understand what's on the line here.
And just for Brady, Bryce, through the moments like John spoke before, no surprise, but what do you see from him and being around him for the first time this season when he does go through a stretch like that, and him having the confidence that he is going to bust out of that in a big way?
Yeah, I don't think he's the kind of player that's going to shut down, whether he's having a bad game or if he's had a previous bad game. You know, coming into this game, he didn't play the way he wanted to, and then first half might have been the best first half he wanted, but he still stuck with it, and I think that's just the kind of player he is. He has the confidence. He's going to keep shooting. He's going to keep drawing the defense, and I like playing with them because they're going to focus on him. It leaves me open, so I think everyone else would say the same thing.
Brady, the manner in which you guys qualify for the top 6, you know, in such a thrilling fashion the last bucket of the year, do you sort of almost feel like you're playing with house money in a way? Like, obviously there's always, you know, there's always heaps at stake in the postseason, but do you almost feel like you've got nothing to lose in a way, like the way that the last couple of games have gone?
No, we got everything to lose because if we lose, it's the end of the season. I don't really know how to answer that because, I mean, we came in this year, we started off first 3 games and we went on a losing streak, and I think we've been proven ever since the kind of players we are. For us to get to the playoffs and keep going, I think it's anyone can win from here.
I think it was the reverse on Sunday. We asked the guys here, you were playing the second game. Are you going to quickly try and watch this game now or keep up with the scores, or how do you approach this?
Yeah, we're going to watch the game for sure, but I want to make sure our guys appreciate what they're doing right now. Like, we're not going to watch film. We're not going to nestle down and try and dissect the game. They need to appreciate this. A lot of emotion goes into a game and a build-up, especially after what we just dealt with Sunday. So they need to enjoy it. They've earned that right, you know.
Do you go back home, or do you sort of hang around here, sort of, because it's only 3 days away? Or?
Yeah, we'll hang around.
Yeah.
We'll be the Leyland brothers here for a little while.
Brady, draw any inspiration from what you went through last year with North Carolina in terms of this, you know, win or go home knockout style tournament play? Obviously that was the case tonight, that's going to be the case on Sunday. Does that give you any kind of mental edge in terms of being able to prepare and know what to expect in those scenarios?
No, it's just we got a quick turnaround. You know, we put ourselves in this position to be in these 2 games, and we won the first one, and we got to move into the second one. But I mean, it's you know, I think everybody knows where we're at. Everybody knows the kind of teams we've got to play coming up, and you know, I think we're gonna prepare like we did for this one, and just keep working hard and keep playing hard.
Based on what you guys have seen from Cairns and from Tasmania earlier this season, any preference for who you might face on Sunday?
I was waiting for one of you jokers to ask that.
The one that wins.
I like that. No preference for me. At this stage of the game, if you want to win a championship, you got to beat who's ever in front of you, because they're just as deserving to be there as you are.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about Bryce's interrupted prep, and I guess, you know, he's obviously might not have been elsewhere a little bit, and to come in, and obviously you've talked about what he's done on the court, but obviously he's faced something off the court that he's had to deal with, you know, in the lead up to this big game?
Yeah, he had a family emergency.
I understand that, but like in terms of mindset and that, obviously it's something that is taken away, and he's obviously tackled it pretty well to come out and do what he's done in that last quarter.
Yeah, like that's professional. Like, he was in the MVP hunt. He's won championships, so that's where his mindset is at this time of the year. And he got welcomed back in the fourth quarter.
Would you pick him in the next Boomer squad if he was?
Let's get through the playoffs, and then we'll deal with that.
There's nothing on Zoom, so all done.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.